is currently trending on social media. Ghana, if you come to Ghana, this particular lady, her name is Hajia4Real. Hajia4Real. Is it Hajia? Mona Montrage. So apparently today is a sentencing, and then just I think 26th of this month, that's 26th of June, was her birthday, and apparently spent the birthday in a confined place. Even though she's not in prison yet, she is confined at her auntie's place, at her auntie's apartment in New York. So currently, Mona Montrage, who was charged recently for fraudulent activities and also what the whites or the Americans term as romance fraud, according to investigations and the FBI, they are saying that she's guilty, and apparently she has struck a deal to name her accomplices or snitch on them to get a lesser sentence. One of the people that Hajia4Real apparently named in a deposition was her ex-baby daddy, whom Hajia4Real have said a whole lot of things. And also, we are noting that prominent Ghanaian figures and politicians and musicians have also been named in the deposition that Hajia4Real made. And this is all in bid for her to be free, and also a bid for her to kind of, get a lighter sentence. Today, we are learning that her sentence is due, and then we'll be picking up as to, the number of years that she got, but we are learning that it shouldn't be less than 37 months, which apparently has to do with something not less than 2 years. So, this is what is really happening.
Yeah, so like you stated, Hajia4Real is to face the court today, and finally we'll know the judgment that the court is going to give. That's the final judgment for the case. It's been over a year or two that this case started trending in Ghana, and for some time now, I would say like 2 years, we've not seen Hajia4Real in Ghana. Yes, because of this particular issue. And one thing that we have to know is that US can never be like Ghana. Exactly. Once the issue gets to them, and if you are God, cry, massa, whatever you do, your case will be sat on, and there will be a final judgment on the case. Not Ghana, like by now the case cry, we will be doing tomorrow, next week. Eventually it will be a dead case. Currently, Hajia4Real, like you said, the lawyers who are standing in for her have really done a very great job trying to make sure they can get a less sentence for her. Yes, probably like maybe 3 months or something. But unfortunately, the documents they submitted, you have they've done a lot by even snitching all his part just to make sure that she'll get a lesser sentence. But unfortunately, according to the judges, it will be unfair on their part to give her a lesser sentence.
But she snitched and she did cooperate.
Yes,
and she did mention names.
So the 3 years in the car that they are trying to give her is because of the plea deal she did.
Yeah, the plea deal.
Yes. So if not because of that, then actually she would have gotten something worse than what she's getting now. So unfortunately, what the judges are saying is that they can't give her anything lesser than the 36 months. Wow. So the 3 months that the lawyers are trying to appeal to the court to give her, it wouldn't work because they feel it's unfair.
It's unfair.
Yes, that's the word they used. If it will be unfair because people have gone through same judgment and then they faced the 3 years, persecution and all. So you cry, even a Ghanaian, you're not even like a US citizen or something. So whatever be the case, as for Hajia4Real, currently I'm feeling like till evening we'll be knowing her fate. And yes, it's already evening, but we're ahead of
US 5
US. So till evening we'll know the her fate. And some people are saying they are very convinced that she's going to spend like 3 years in jail. Yes. Because from what is being brought out, that the 3 years, the 3 months is something that is way below the belt there.
Now, I'm not cutting you. As you can see on the screen, this is coming from the United States Attorney's Office. So for those of you who want to get details about, just type United States Attorney's Office or United States Attorney or justice.gov and just search for Hajia4Real. Her docket will be pulled. This is a big disgrace. Now, I'm not looking as to why they posted this, because US does this as a form of archive. They have states and all of that. But then in here we can see Mona Fies Montright received over 2 million in fraud proceeds and pretended to marry one victim to further the fraud scheme. Now reading on, it says Damian Williams, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, and Michael J. Driscoll, the Assistant Director in charge of the New York Field Office and Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI), announced unsealing of a 6-count indictment charging Mona Fies Montright for her role in series of romance schemes and for laundering the proceeds of those schemes. Montright was arrested in the United Kingdom on November 10, 2022, making it 2 years. Wow. And was extradited to the United States of United Kingdom on May 12, 2023. So I'm sure they meant to say the United States instead of the United Kingdom. On May 12, 2023, Montright will be presented before U.S. District Judge Paul A. Crotty, to whom the case is assigned later today. So
I think it's actually United Kingdom, because that's where they got her first, and then they posted her to US.
So they are supposed to say that they extradited her from
UK. Yes.
So not to the US. So
yes,
they extradited her from the United Kingdom to the US.
Yes.
I get it. So further on, it says that US Attorney Damian Williams said, as alleged, Mona Fies Montright was a member of a criminal conspiracy that specifically targeted older Americans. Wow. True romance scams. These scams can be both financially and emotionally devastating for vulnerable victims. Again, it continues to say, thanks for the efforts for our law enforcement partners. Montright was arrested abroad and has been brought to the United States to face justice. Justice. It's sad. I mean, I'm not laughing at a parent for. But then this lady has some questions to ask, because recall there was a video which was trending on social media that this lady went on TV3, I think, when she was questioned by one of these presenters, and they asked her, Hajia, how did you make your money? So I started business with 15 Ghana cedis. And the girl was like, oh, women power. So now we know that those ladies who have been saying I started a business with 10 Ghana cedi, 15 Ghana, it's a lie. Even if you take a loan from bank, the business collapses. How much more 15 Ghana cedi? It's sad. But Hajia4Real will not be. Apparently, I don't know, the days that the case was being heard, she was they said that there's an ankle monitor on her leg, so I mean her movement is restricted and all of that. So if she's jailed for 3 years, then it means we should be seeing Hajia4Real in Ghana in 2027, because apparently when it's done, she will be deported back to Ghana. But then Showboy, who also suffered a similar fate over the weekend, said something on one of these radio stations and even his own social media platform, that Hajia4Real is snitching. And the snitching that Hajia4Real is snitching is only going to cause her trouble, because the people who are snitching on them, they're in Ghana. They are powerful. They've not been arrested. They've not been extradited to the United States of America. So apparently, even if she comes back, one big man will say, Rex being arrested because Hajia4Real is out. She can further be an informant of FBI. So Hajia4Real's safety is in question. Their properties that she owns is also in question. Not just that, also, her family, her child is also. These are all things which are in jeopardy, which is a very sad. But the big question I want to ask you is, do you think Hajia4Real did snitch? And if she did, do you think it was the right thing for her to do? Because they say that snitches, there's a code they use for snitches.
Well, what I'll say is that if it could be that she snitched, because per the information I gathered was saying that she mentioned a couple of names, and those names eventually.
But do you know Hajia4Real used to date Kempon?
Come again?
Kempon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
wow.
That's what I heard. Hajia4Real used to date Kempon.
We wish him well.
The guy that Lumba sang.
Yes.
So yeah.
And
even Kempon's name has not been mentioned, but we are learning that
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some names have been mentioned, but those names, according to my research, they are saying that FBI don't want to release those names, meaning that if they let the names out, the people involved are going to find ways and means to cover up. Yes, cover up and all that. So those names have been withheld, but the only persons whose name was out, that was because the person, we already know that he was once arrested and deported because of that, was his baby daddy. So that one is no news. But with regards to if it was a good idea for her to snitch or not, I feel like everything has an advantage and a disadvantage. She felt like she may be coming up with the names of the people involved could have saved her some reduction in her jail sentence.
And even proud to this, she was posting stuff on social media that people are not fighting for, people are not standing up for her, and then eventually she's going to go all out and expose them. So apparently she kind of gave them a heads up that, hey, this issue which is going on, you guys need to support me with.
But what would they have eventually do? So the truth of the matter is that she has snitched, and that is it.
Danger.
And when it comes to the disadvantage, that's because it was her decision to snitch, and I'm sure her lawyers give her that kind of advice. So when the consequence comes, she has to deal with it.
All right, so we'll be giving you more updates as all of these various events unfold.